Hello, everybody. Welcome to Just Upright. My name is Doc Jane Ruder. I'm a doctor of physical therapy, and I'm your foreign educated physical therapist guide to United States application. I hope you guys are doing great. So, if you are new to this channel, Just Upright is geared towards foreign educated physical therapists, and I have made tons of videos to answer common questions with United States application, the step-by-step process, and you can access it for free if you go to the channel, click on the videos, and I have hundreds of videos there that can answer many of your questions. But if you want a systematic way of presentation of the step-by-step process, so that you won't waste your time and your energy trying to scour the internet, which video you should watch first, second, third. The best way to learn is the USPT Turbo Charge. Okay, so this is an online masterclass that I have, and it will take you from the start until end, step-by-step process with United States application. It's more systematic, organized way of learning, so that you won't waste your time and your money and energy and end up frustrated or given up with your US application. Okay, so for today we're going to discuss, this is a common question that I get. I made some video about it before, but I just want to clarify it today. So between the credentialing and healthcare worker certificate. So we're going to discuss this, what service you should go for, and what is the advantage and disadvantage of each of the service if you choose to go one way or another. That is coming right up. Okay, so common question that I receive from messages or email or comment from the YouTube videos is that should I do a Type 1 review, FCCPT Type 1 review for immigration, or should I do ECR or Educational Credential Review and get my visa screen certificate from CGFNS. Okay, so this is what we're going to discuss today. Okay, so it's not a straightforward answer, okay, because Type 1 review for immigration under FCCPT, it is 2-in-1. Okay, so that's the package deal. So you have to have credentialing is, in simple terms, they're checking all your education, your subjects, your courses, your trainings, and they're comparing it to coursework tool number 6 as of the recording of this video. That is the latest coursework tool. So that's the cheat sheet or the list of all the courses, trainings, and education by the standard of the US right now. So they're comparing your training, your courses, your subjects to coursework tool number 6, and they're going to see whether you have all those subjects and courses and trainings, and if not, then you will end up with deficiency. So that is what credentialing is all about. Okay, so for credentialing, there is FCCPT, there is ICD, there's ICA, IERF, University of Austin in Texas. So these are for credentialing process. Okay, now there's another part where what we call healthcare worker certificate. Okay, so the healthcare worker certificate, I want you to understand that it has nothing to do with the state that you're applying to. Okay, the healthcare worker certificate is everything about the visa. Okay, the visa petition by your employer. So according to USCIS, the foreign educated applicant should have the healthcare worker certificate. So the healthcare worker certificate, one of the requirements of it is passing the TOEFL, or test of English as foreign language, okay? Unless you are exempted, okay? So there, you can Google it out. If you are graduate from Australia, New Zealand, Canada, except Quebec, so there are lists of countries that are exempted from TOEFL. So if you're not graduate based on your bachelor degree, you're not graduate from any of these any of these countries, then you are not exempted from TOEFL. Okay, so if you're a foreign educated physical therapist, so one of the requirements of healthcare worker certificate is TOEFL. Okay, so you have to pass the TOEFL. Okay, and there are many other requirements, of course, for healthcare worker certificate. So there are two ways that you can get the healthcare worker certificate. It can be type 1 review for immigration under FCCPT. Okay, so again, the type 1 review is both credentialing and healthcare worker certificate, 2-in-1. Okay, and then the other one is through CGFNS, okay? They call the healthcare worker certificate visa screen certificate. It's the same thing, okay? So one thing that I want you to really understand, if you use the CGFNS for visa screen certificate, it has no credentialing part, okay? Nothing. So, what I mean by this is that the healthcare worker certificate or visa screen certificate that you're going to get from CGFNS is purely for healthcare worker certificate, purely for visa petition only. Okay, so if you're going to use CGFNS for visa screen certificate, you have to have a separate credentialing process. Okay, so you can use FCCPT for credentialing if you want to. You can use depending on the state, because FCCPT is accepted in all 50 states. Okay, it's accepted in all 50 states, but each state, they also endorse other credentialing agencies. Okay, so if you haven't downloaded my master list of 50 states requirements, it's free. It's on the description section below. So you have to download it, look at the states and the target state where you want to practice, and it lists of what other credentialing agency aside from FCCPT that they are accepting. Okay, so the other choices, like I've said before, you can do FCCPT, ICD, IERF, ICA, University of Austin in Texas. Those are 5 credentialing agencies, but they are not all, except FCCPT, not all accepted in all 50 states. So that's why it is very important that you have to check the Board of Physical Therapy of the state where you want to apply and look what credentialing agencies you're going to, that they are accepting that you can use, okay? So here's the deal. If you are not a graduate of master's degree in physical therapy or transitional doctor of physical therapy or doctor of physical therapy degree, you cannot apply for type 1 review for immigration. Okay? Because as soon as you go to FCCPT and they will ask you a series of questions, and one of those questions, do you have a master's of doctor of physical therapy degree? If you answer no, you cannot apply for type 1 review for immigration. So one of the requirements right now for you to apply for type 1 review for immigration is you have to have a master's in physical therapy, not master's in other courses, okay? Master's in physical therapy, or are you a graduate of Doctor of Physical Therapy or transitional of Doctor of Physical Therapy degree? Okay, so if you do not have a master's degree or a Doctor of Physical Therapy degree, the best route for you is to go through ECR, Educational Credential Review, for the state. Okay, again, depending on the state. The state may require you to have type 1 review for licensure. Okay, so there are states that these are the list of the states that require type 1 review for licensure. So these are the exceptions that you cannot do the educational credential review. But if you're applying to other states other than on this list, then you can do educational credential review. Okay, so you can do the ECR, that's the credentialing part. And then later on, or at the same time, depending on how you want to do this, you can get your healthcare worker certificate via CGFNS. Okay, that's your visa screen certificate for visa petition of the employer. Okay, so the main difference of FCCPT Type 1 review for immigration and CGFNS is the FCCPT Type 1 review again requires master's degree and doctor of physical therapy degree. Not only that, but they have a higher requirement, 210 semester units. Okay, because they want it equivalent to doctor of physical therapy degree. Okay, so it has more requirement for units, semester units, if you go through type 1 review for immigration. Okay, if you go through ECR, educational credential review, or on states requiring type 1 review for licensure, it depends what coursework tool for that state they want. Okay, so it can be lower than 210 units. Okay, and then for visa screen certificate, it only requires you to have 170 semester units. Okay, so if you use the visa screen certificate CGFNS, it requires 170 versus 210 from for type 1 review for immigration. So significantly 40 semester units difference. So if you have problem with semester units, I would rather have you go through ECR again, or type 1 review for licensure depending on the state you want to apply, and then get your healthcare worker certificate through visa screen certificate through CGFNS. Okay, all right, guys. So I hope that is clear. I know it's a complicated process. Again, that's why, I would rather, have you do the USPT Turbocharge Masterclass if you can afford it, because it's a lot clearer through that, and you can watch it over and over and over again. I explain there the processes involved from start until end. But I hope that this video is helpful for you to understand the difference of credentialing and healthcare worker certificate, and what's the advantages of type 1 review for immigration FCCPT and its disadvantage, and what's the advantage of getting CGFNS for the visa screen certificate or healthcare worker certificate part. Okay, so if you have any other questions, please put your comment down below. Okay, and do not forget to please like this video, share, and subscribe to the channel so we can reach and help more foreign educated physical therapists around the world, because you are badly needed here in the US. I wish you all the best with your US application. Until the next video, stay blessed.